Yes, in this episode we will go over the user interface and start recording our own first song in Cubase. So, let's get inspired. Aloha, my name is Daniel and today we continue our Getting Started with Cubase series. Last time we bought a laptop, we bought a audio interface, we bought a keyboard and we got Cubase Elements installed. And Cubase Elements is a reasonable priced version of Cubase, which can always be upgraded to a bigger version. And when I say bigger version, I believe this version already took up 15 to 20 gigabytes of hard disk space. But let's have a look at the user interface. When you open your Cubase, you will see the Steinberg hub. On the left side of the hub, it shows you online content like news, tutorials and updates. And on the right side, it helps you organizing your projects. You can start your project using a template or start a blank, empty project. And that's what we'll do. We start an empty project. This will open the project window. The project window can be divided in 4 zones. The center and most important zone is the project zone. Here you will find the so-called ruler, which is a timeline from left to right. On the left is the beginning of a song, and during playback or recording, you will see the project cursor move in time to the right. Vertically, you have the list of tracks. On a track is where you record your instrument. So when you record your instrument, the track fills the space on the timeline like a piano roll. I will demonstrate this in a minute or two. Going to the left zone. The left zone has 2 tabs, but for now the most important one is the default one, the Track Inspector tab. The Track Inspector shows information and controls of the selected track. For example, volume, panning and effects, but also modifiers like transpose, time shift and much more. This is all based on the type of selected track. Going to the right zone. The right zone has 2 tabs, VST Instruments and Media Bay. Depending on how you work in Cubase, the right zone can be seen as less important than the first 2 zones. But that's the beauty of Cubase. You can do many things in many different ways, so you can grow your own style of how to work with Cubase. Going to the lower zone. The lower zone is a very clever zone, especially when you are working with just one computer display. In the lower zone you have editors and windows that traditionally also can be opened in a separate window on top of your project window. But now they are also integrated within the total project window. So for example, in the lower zone you can have your wave editor or MIDI editor open while still having direct access and overview of the total project window. But enough said on the main project window. Let's just start recording a song so things will automatically become more clear and easy to remember. Let's start by creating a drum track. At the top of the track list you find a plus for adding a track. We choose Instrument and Groove Agent for drums. Add track. And it will open Groove Agent. Now we pick a sound, let's say a regular acoustic drum sample kit. And if all went well, I should be able to hear the drum samples. Now for drums, there are multiple ways to create a drum arrangement. The first one is playing the drum on a keyboard. And the other method is by inserting MIDI notes. But for drums we also have the drum editor. So the instrument is loaded. Let's click it on the side. If I want to see the instrument again, I press this button, Edit Instrument. But for now, close it. What I always like is to start recording on the left locator. You can place the left locator in the timeline ruler by holding your control on the keyboard and clicking your mouse in the ruler. So now I can record from bar 5. If I do the same but with holding the Alt key, I can place the right locator. You could choose to stop your recording there if you want. But I need to turn this on, so I go to Transport, Common Record Modes, Start Recording at left locator punch-in position. So when I start recording now, it will automatically jump to bar 5 and start recording from there. As I said, for the drums we have the drum editor. So let's open the drum editor. I will start by setting my left locator at bar 5 and my right locator 4 bars from 5 to bar 9. And now double click to create a part. In this part you can record or edit your notes. In the bottom you see an empty MIDI editor, but we wanted to open the drum editor. So open drum editor, go to the left locator, and I could activate cycle mode. So between the left and the right locator we will have a loop. Let's just start. Now I can use the drumstick to place drums. So let's say the bass drum, let's say you want to add a snare, so now we created a simple beat using the drum editor. Let's stop it. Press enter to confirm. Let's name this track. Let's say kick, snare. The other way is to play drum sounds. So let's add another track. Instrument, groove agent, it's already there. Add track. Choose a preset, preset filter. I want a little bit of a electronic style, electro, and groove future kit. I think that's okay. I can click on the pads. Yeah, this is a bit of an electronic drum sample. Let's just play that one, and you know what? Also play the clap. I just start playback to practice. Yeah, that's okay. I will keep it cycling. In the first cycle I will play the hi-hat, and the second cycle I will play the clap. So record 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, stop. Tempo's a little bit too fast for me. Let's make it 113. Enter. We name this hi-hat and clap. Just to finish the drums for now, let's just add a shaker, plus sign, instrument, groove agent, add track. Shaker, I remember I found a shaker before. It was in a reset filter. It was in a 80s kit, classic 80s kit. Okay. Yeah, that's the one. Record 1, 2, 3, 4. stop. Okay, let's now edit. If you select a part in the project window, it's automatically opened in the editor in the lower zone. If I select another part, this one is opened in the editor in the lower zone. So what you now see is that some of the notes are not played precisely on the grid. If you look at the claps, they are a little bit ahead in time. And if you look at the hi-hat here, it's perfect. This one is a bit ahead in time. We can now correct or edit these notes. There are several ways of doing that. You can just pick up the note and move it to make it sit directly on the grid, or you can select the notes you want to edit and press the Q symbol here. This will quantize, that means align all these notes to the grid. The current grid is set at a 16th, so that there are 16 squares within one bar. If I press the Q, it is completely aligned. If I do that without selecting any note, all the notes within the part are automatically aligned. So let's look at the shaker part I just played. Well, here is the same. A lot of notes are ahead of time. This one is a little bit late. This one is on time. But I will press the Q and everything is aligned on the grid. Let's listen to it now. Perfect. As you can see, these bars are completely aligned with the left and right locator. But if I want to resize them, I can just move my mouse on top of a part and resize them to the correct length. If I want to resize them back, I can. Or if I press the right mouse button, I can just splice them and use the delete, the eraser to size them up. Sizing the parts in the project window can be very handy when you want to repeat elements of your song. So, for example, this part is exactly 4 bars. If I now want to repeat it, I just go to Functions, Repeat, one copy, and now I duplicate it. So now it's 8 bars in total. I can move the right locator. So let's name this one Cubase. Okay. For easy reference, I could also color the tracks. So let's say drums, they all need to be red. And let's now continue to play some keys. I add an instrument track. Now I don't choose the Groove Agent, but I choose the Alien Sonic SE synthesizer, add track, and I'll pick a keyboard, electric piano, which one? Well, just pick the first one. Let's listen. Fine with me. So let's just start record something. I'll just do some chord changes in C. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop. Let me first quantize. As you can see, these notes are not completely on the grid. So let me quantize. Oh, let me quantize everything. Yes. Ooh. So Let me resize the part. Okay, so that's the keyboard. Let's name it electric piano. If I hold down the Alt key while pressing enter, it also renames the part. Let's give it a color. I usually do keyboard screen. Let's do a bass line. At instrument track, I'll pick up the Halion Sonic again. Add track. Let's just pick a electric bass. That's okay. Let's listen to it. Octave down on the keyboard. Alright. Okay, so now the bass. Let's practice. Let's do something like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that's the bass line. Immediately I see a slip up. Let's just delete that one. Okay, quantize. Okay, I need some cleaning up to do. This note is too soft. Hit this one as well. But as you can see, you can edit and move notes around, redo the recording, whatever you want, until it's to your likings. Let's just give it a color. This track, bass, I usually do orange. Let's give it a name, bass line. So that's how you start recording and editing in Cubase. In this episode we only use the internal VST instruments, but for next episode I would like to connect a guitar and a microphone, and I'll ask some musician friends to join me for that. So that's it for now. I'll continue to work on the foundation of the song and see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe.